10,000 user, uh, we cannot give a solution to the 10,000 users, the product which is being evolved, you know. So every second we need to apply some patch to make the product over. Being an architect, I always recommend my people, my company to go current version -1, and at least we have a migration strategy for 1 year. People also get used to of it. There are certain major design level changes. So that's one thing. So we have both 11.1.1.3. My team is specialized in 11.1.3 including me, but we are equally good at 11.1.2 and 11.1.2.1. If you see, we are the first few people who post if any new product comes. The installation, configuration, qualification of various operating systems, we are the first people across the globe who evaluate the product and publish the blogs. Okay, there's one major question people ask me. We call application setup and installation. We give fair enough deal with the installation, no false commitment. So installation support, how do we do? We support 11.1.1.3 enterprise and standalone on both. Is your choice. Based on your requirement, you can browse my installation guide once. We'll give you installation guide. Installation guide is very easy with lot of snapshot and very easy explanation with installation video. We give you installation video, play pause. Installation video called installation, which consists of, and then post installation. What are the steps are involved into that? And then we have configuration, and then we do installation support. We give installation support for high PM. We may not be able to assist you to install the operating system, relational database. If you need a quick help, my team can assist you, but officially we support only high PM installation. High PM installation support is what? First, to go through the installation guide, at least capture what are the prerequisites. I'll brief you. Prerequisite for APMA is called Windows 2003, Service Pack 1, IIS Server, this is what you need primarily, and little higher memory, because the EPMA server, you are not installing a desktop based application, you are installing a enterprise level application into your system, so naturally the requirements are little higher side. So browse once, just browse once and identify, do you meet the hardware requirements? And then if you do not meet, make sure you have whatever hardware you require, you buy it. Some little more memory, 4 GB memory is required, but if you are doing it, if you don't have Windows 2003, you may go for VMware, and you might have 6 GB of RAM, so it works pretty fast. And then if you, during installation, any problem you have, my team would assist you. They connect to your system, look at the what problem you have, and they give you suggested solution. But we work on Indian time. My team would be available from 8 AM to 5 PM IST, which will be a little awkward for you. I know that. Maybe on weekend you can have it. Installation support. And here comes the application setup. We give you a practice application so that you can deploy the practice application into your own environment and practice along with me. This is a complete application. This is a customized version which Oracle provides us as a part of demo application. We customize it to the extent that it in line with our training and simplify many things which was quite complicated for the people. So application setup will do two ways. Using classic application, and there's another way we'll teach you through lifecycle management application setup. There are two ways of setting up the application. So eventually this will go through after second class or third class. We share the application in just one folder, and perform couple of steps so that your application would be ready into your environment. Throughout your learning, you need to stick to this application. At the end of the day, we'll give you more complicated examples, application, to go ahead for a advanced level of learning. And I have a couple of questions. Let me address them first. This is my recommendation. The training, this kind of training is not primarily for freshers. If you are a functional graduate, you MBA in finance and all these things, it might be helpful to you, but we don't recommend people, freshers, to go for this training, because this training is the minimum level of expectation are when you get into when you learn the program, project training program, when you get into some job, there would be a different level of expectation from you. So same you need to carry out. Therefore, we recommend people, if you have some experience in financial industry, maybe you're working as a financial application, or at least you have 2 years working experience, then go for HFM. If you do not need this, there are other products of Hyperion family, you can go for that. For such detailed level explanation, if you want, you can drop me a mail and touch base with me on personal basis. So HFM it's not like a traditional application. Here you start learning. Your first lesson itself is how do you perform financial consolidation. With assumption, basics about financial consolidation. So the technical people out there, the majority of the users are technical. So we'll be giving them accounting videos. They know at least bits about something, or what is asset, liabilities, how the financial consolidation go on, and all these things. We acquired this videos from University of Illinois. You can take it these videos and go through them. Assets, other than that, there's no specific prerequisite. A basic knowledge of programming is recommended if you have, and the basic knowledge of database. There are 2 recommendations. Okay, for learning material, we have our own learning material. We do not use any copyright material, anyone. So we'll be giving you student guide upon your registration. The student guide would have all theory aspects, all the concept I teach. It would have theory aspect of HFM. So whatever I show in my PPT, and it was same as my student guide. Maybe in PPT I show the same thing with more graphics. Student guide consists of all the same thing. Then you have a lab guide, and then practice material. Whatever I practice in the class, like I use some data file. Most of 90% of the practice material comes along with the practice application. Other than that, certain business requirement which I capture from as a part of my POC implementation. This is all I am going to show you with masking the confidential data. Right? We go very ethical in training. We don't use any copyright material or anything. Any of our client metadata we do not disclose, or we have our old copy of it. We mark all the required information, and then we share for the learning program. We'll be also sharing how the business problems and solution we done for the last couple of implementation we done for our Middle East clients, how the metadata is captured from requirement and all these things. So confined to HFM, all my learning I'm going to share you, unlike traditional training program where you learn how to use the tool. We are more focused. Each problem, each session, I'll try to correlate with the requirement, and therefore this is how we go. Session plan for every day I'll be sharing across in 1 or 2 days. Most probably by the end of today I'll give you session plan where you would have a session detail for each day, and this would be a monthly session plan, and then we send a revised session plan every week, because people might go to leave, maybe support team also go on leave. So in order to align this, we'll send you the session plan for every week to ensure that both of us are in sync. We also have missing class policy in order to ensure that The training should be eventually productive to you, so that you can, if you're planning to migrate your career, looking for a new roles, job, it should be helpful to you. It should be helpful to me, because if your placement will give me another way of success, so I get more people. So it's a two-level, understanding. Missing class policy is that we give you recorded session for missing class, but it does not mean you attend 2 classes, 3 classes, and you completely disappear, and you expect me to give you missing record session for all the classes. 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, maybe you're stuck up in some project, you can have a record session of basic class. Unfortunately, you have to travel because of your job requirement, something. We always have an option to move to another batch. We have batch every month for last 3 years, regular batch. God forbid if you miss your training program due to you are occupied in festival, travel, or some unexpected work, you can move to another batch. You don't have to pay anything extra for the same. Next batch also. Up to 6 months, you can move to any batch. I think 6 months you can accommodate. In some exceptional cases, we allow people to go for retaking the class even 7th or 8th month as well. So this is a complete training program policy we follow. Before I go into more technical description about the HFM, if anybody has any question about the program, you can talk to me. HFM is part of EPMS solution. Therefore, uh, we talk about a complete integrated solution for IPN family. It's not a standalone solution. Second thing, as you know, I'll give you question answer. I'll give you session plan. Give